back then I thought I was on a timeline, and now I know that I might have a deadline. So we gotta make most of the time. And I was like, now that I have figured out what my specific goal is and how I want to get there, and I have everything that I would need to get there, why am I stalling?
This is Journey to Point B, where you can find success stories of people who have achieved the same goals you're striving for. I'm your host, Lucia Csoma, and it's my hope that these stories will provide motivation for your own journey to Point B. Raheen, welcome to Journey to Point B. It's such an honor to have you here.
Yeah, likewise. It's great being on here. Despite technical difficulties, here we are.
Oh yeah, we cannot get rid of those, so we can just embrace them. Thank you for working through that.
Yeah.
I know that today we're going to talk about empowerment. But before we get into that, tell me three things about you that would help me know you a little bit better.
Okay. Three things about me. Firstly, I am 16 and I'm from Pakistan, right? Born and raised all the way Pakistani. The second thing is that I have been working on finding myself, my goals for life for about almost 5 years now. So it's been quite a while. And the third is that I love making connections. I love talking to people. Um, I just love talking to people, being able to relate to people, and building human connections, which is, I think, a gift that I have. And one of the most beautiful things that God has given us.
Yeah, thank you so much for telling me a little bit about you. Empowerment. I was curious, Raheen, what does empowerment means for you and what makes it so important?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the word empowerment has changed a lot for me because back when I was 11, I remember my dad asked me what I want to do, and I said I want to help people. And with my dad's job, we've moved all around the country. And so I've seen the most well off people, and I've seen people that struggle with making ends meet every single day. And I was like, I want to be able to help people. So I always viewed my goal to be empowerment of people around me. But I
Mm.
never really figured out what it really was for me at the moment. But I think with my journey, talking to so many people, seeing so many people, I think empowerment could be as little as a compliment, as a pick me up sort of statement that you can give to someone, or it could be helping someone start a business. And I think with everything in between is empowerment, is being able to share yourself with someone. Because whether you're sharing your knowledge, whether you're sharing your resources, whether you're sharing just something that you relate with, just talking, anything, as little, like I said, as little as just like, hey, you're doing great, and as big
Mhm.
as, hey, let me invest in your business. So I think everything in between is empowerment to me. And I think I've taken a lot of time to figure that out, by seeing a lot of different people that have empowered me, lots of people that I have empowered. And um, yeah, it's been quite a journey.
I love what you said that empowerment doesn't need to be something big or
Yeah.
like necessarily. It can be, but empowerment means like smiling, encouraging somebody, making someone's day, like the micro interactions can be empowerment. I think that's very beautiful. What are some ways that some of the biggest ways that you feel you have empowered the people that you had a chance to impact?
Um, yeah. Okay. So it's really interesting because I think these moments are what sum up all the efforts that I've made. Because being, on this journey of finding yourself, of exploring and exposing yourself to different things to see what works out for me, what my goal in life is, what do I want to do. it was really hard. It was really different from my age, because that's what set me apart for so many years from my peers. And it was moments like when I felt that I empowered someone that kept me going through it. I think for the most part. But I think one of my favorite moments is little moments like I remember I was it was a summit I was part of, and I was supposed to be speaking at it. I was sitting in the front, like 2 3 rows. I was going back and forth between them, and so I remember I was just sitting down, and my dad was right next to me because he usually attends these things with me. And I see the security guard holding back a little girl, and I was wondering what's going on there. And so this, guard comes to me and he goes like, "Hey, can so this girl really wanted to meet you. Can we let her meet you?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, sure. That's why I'm here. I want to talk to people. I want to listen to people." I was like, "Yeah, sure. Like, let her come." And she was like shivering, and I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Hi, what's up?" And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm such a big fan. I've been looking at I used to do a lot of live interviews on StreamYard back in the day. She's like, I've been looking a lot of those, and I see you and I follow you on Facebook." And she was like, I think 11, 12. I was like, "Hey, you're
Mhm.
really young." And she's like, "Yeah, my dad, her dad knew a few people, and so I was part of the circle." And she was like, "You said in one of your interviews that we can do little things, and then that's how you started. And so I started a little YouTube channel." And I looked at that, and it was really cute. It was like really cute. She would put up little vlogs and little speeches and little things on there. Um, and I also met her dad. She's like, I've always wanted my daughter to be like you. And I'm like, "Well, that's the biggest compliment that you can ever give me." Because I know, I mean, I'm my dad's only daughter. So, and I'm also the eldest. So I got like all the love on my side. So I know how much it means when a father is coming up to you and saying, "I would see you as an ideal for my daughter." And I think that's the biggest compliment anyone can ever give anyone. But for me, that meant the world. And in that moment, when I saw that little girl come up to me with that, I think that's what summed up like, hey, I got up like 7 in the morning and I came here and I was like, "Oh my God, okay, I'm not a morning person at all." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna like talk to new people, and I think it's gonna be really good for me." And my dad kept on saying, "Today will be a little special." And when that happened, I think that just sums it up. And I've seen fathers with newborns come up to me. I've seen, young fathers and old fathers come up to me. I've seen little girls come up to me, little boys come up to me and do these things. And I think these are the moments that mean the most, because if I see a professional that's really appreciating my work, obviously I feel, it's really heartwarming. But when someone that's young is coming up to
Mhm.
you with that interest and that sparkle in their eyes, I think that means the world, because I was in their position. Because I used to be that 10-year-old
Mhm.
girl with pigtails that used to go to like different summits and events and go up to people like, "Hey, can I take a picture with you? And I love your work and I'm really inspired." And then I am now at the receiving end of it. And I think it is a lot of emotions at once. But I think that is when I see, hey, I have made impact with my words. Because even if one person finds themselves and their goals and connects with the right people that may help them reach that goal through me and through my words, through my podcast, through just essentially anything related to me. um I think that's when I think all my work and all my effort would be summed up, even if one person is. And I'm very glad and I'm really grateful to be able to say that it's not just one person, and it's a
Yeah.
lot of people.
What do you think, Rahin, that is in your message that resonates with these young lives?
I think, talking about Pakistani youth in particular, I think it is just, I mean, you see a lot of people that may be really motivating and empowering, but they might be from another country. And circumstances here in Pakistan can only be understood if you live here in Pakistan. And I've lived in very
Mhm.
remote areas, and I've also lived in very urban areas. So being able to speak the language and not losing my accent, so to say, and being able to communicate with them in their language, understanding their problems, the best of my abilities, because I'm really blessed. I can never say that I've had troubles making end meets or anything of the sort, but I've seen it around me, and I know
Hmm.
how much that hurts me just seeing it. And so I think when you see a Pakistani girl, being appreciated around the world on different platforms by different people, then you feel like, hey, if she's from Pakistan and she can do it, I've studied in Pakistan until all my middle school, um, so I can do it as well. So it gives them a sense of relatability.
Hmm.
Girl in America would tell them to do the same. You would feel like, hey, she comes from a very privileged background, and you have different opportunities. But because I live in Pakistan,
Yeah.
I have the same set of opportunities that anyone else would have. Well, yeah, I
Hmm.
do have a very supportive family. So I was always encouraged to build up my skill set, and I was always given the opportunity to work on myself. So
Hmm.
that is one plus thing that I have. But other than that, I think it's just that I am like one of them. I'm not some outsider coming from another country or another area, or from an extremely privileged background, and telling them, hey, you can do this. Just because I did it, you can do it. But I think I can relate. And I think that is a
Yeah.
really big blessing on my end, that I've never lost my relatability. And I think that's one of my biggest fears in life, is to not be relevant anymore.
Yeah. I believe it's so important for us because, as you said, like if someone from another background would say the same thing, like we feel like, yeah, 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 but you have different opportunities, you had different life, you cannot understand my situation. And for them to find themselves in your situation and see that it was possible, if it was possible for you, then there is a great chance for that to be possible for them as well. Who empowered you, Raheen?
Oh, a lot of people. Because, I know a lot of people personally that struggle a lot. And one thing that I love
Mhm.
about all of them that shared their struggle is that they always helped me. Because, I was never really faced with challenges when it came to support. It started right from
Mhm.
my parents. I mean, I was a very talkative kid, like annoyingly talkative, but everyone around me was always very patient with me and very supporting of me. And right from I started as a stand-up comedian, funnily enough, and right from people that supported me, like, hey, you're doing great. Look, people in the audience, people that came to me backstage, people that told me about new opportunities that I could have explored, people that um, gave me a platform to for my voice in the very early days. And I still know a lot of people that took big chances on me. They let me open their big shows. They let me be headliners, lots of different things. And I say, hey, those people had the biggest hearts. That they let an 11-year-old pretty much open for one of the very biggest shows of their lives. That is a
Mhm.
big chance to take on someone. But that confidence that they had in me that I could do it, that was everything and more. That was when I felt empowered, and I was like, hey, I can do it. They believe in me because I thought of them as my mentors, as my teachers, as my supporters. And when I knew that I had their full support and that they believed in me, I had a lot of faith in myself. There was like a significant boost in faith. So from different people, and the beautiful thing about this is that there's a lot of people that did this that I know personally and I've met, but there's a lot of people online, people on LinkedIn, people on social media platforms that have always supported me with their words, and everything that they had to say to me through hard times to difficult times, and I've never really met them. So I always think that if I was going to have people speak when I die, they would be on that list of people that I would like to talk about me, but I've never really met them. It gets to you. But I think that's what tells you about empowerment. It can be done, you know, from across the world.
Yeah, yeah, we can empower people without even knowing. Like we would never find out, but it's as we talked earlier about those micro moments. And from what you said, like what one thing that came to mind is that there are two parts on accomplishing something. It's or there are more parts, but two that comes to mind is that opportunities that are given to us that we just need to notice, and opportunities that we need to create. And I believe that when you were asking to be the opener for a headliner, you took steps to create those opportunities, to even ask that question. And I'm curious, what is one opportunity that you know you have created, like you fought for it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of those, but I think now I don't really have to do a lot of that, since I now have a profile, and people could go and look me up, and they'd be like, okay, yeah, this is a person, credible person, and they've done a lot of things. But I remember it was a show that was happening at Pakistan's National Council of Art, and they had an open mic. I was like, I want to speak there, and they already had auditions, and they had closed them off. But I was like, I want this. And so I was at the place, and it was like, I think a week before the event, not even a week, I think it was like 2 3 days before the event, and I was there with my dad. And there was this lady that was just passing by, and I was like, hey, do you know who's organizing this event? Because I really want to participate in it. She's like, oh, what do you want to do in the event? And I'm like, I want to do like stand-up comedy there. I want to do my own set in the open mic. And she's like, oh yeah, the audition are call up, but like, can you show me some of the stuff? I was like, sure, why not? And I was like really curious, and I got my dad's phone. I was like, hey, okay, yeah, I just see this. And she's like, oh yes, that's really good. You know what? We'll give you a slot. I'm like, wait, who are you? She's like, I'm organizing the event. And I'm like, oh my god. I ran into her. Oh, she was just like coming random. She's on her phone, and I think that's an opportunity that I had to like create myself. A lot of that just was a coincidence of like her meeting me, we running into each other, her actually agreeing to it. We're still really good friends. I still see her around, and whenever we meet, she's one of those people that's always like in awe of me, so to say, because she's seen me grow. She's seen me
Mhm.
when I had just turned 11, and she's now seeing me as a 16-year-old. She's like, oh my god, you've grown so much, you've gone so mature, the way you talk. And so growing up, so to say, in the public eye is hard at times. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. I think in my case it wasn't as hard, but it's definitely really cool because a lot of people would come up to you and be like, oh my god, I remember when you were like, this little, and you used to talk about this, and we see you now. Because there are so many. I mean, recently I got to host this event very spontaneously. um and it was the same event that I had my first like fan encounter in. Like, I ever had someone take a picture with me and really appreciate my work. And that was like 4 years ago. And I went to the same event, and it happens every single year, Lift Pakistan. And I got to host it this time. I was like, well, I've grown a lot as a person. Because I think if you put in the effort, and if you nurture these connections, I think networking is a big part of it. You go up to people, you meet
Mhm.
people, because it's just like it's the matter. Like, if you go up to someone and you're really sweet to them, and you are able to strike a nice conversation, you don't even know who they are. Sometimes they might not be so relevant. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, sometimes they might not be able to help you reach your goal, but in some cases they might be just the person that you might need. So that's the mystery of networking. And I think that's one of the things I love the most.
Yeah, so what I hear in that story is that you have a goal, you wanted to get the mic, you wanted to do some stand comedy, and you went and you found a way to get there. You started asking. You didn't think like, hey, should I ask this person? Should I go? Should I not go? No, you went. You had the goal and you went and you took it. And I think that's so important for us to take an action. Yeah, it was very fortunate too that that was happened to be the organizer. But I believe that if that was not a person, you would have gone to the next one, to the next one, until you get to the person that can help you there. What would you say is your mission now, Raheen?
I remember the first time that I thought about what my mission was and what my goal was. And it was back when my brother was diagnosed with cancer. Um, and I saw him, which I thought was his deathbed, but it wasn't. And I was like, this could be me. This could be anyone. And I can die any day. And my biggest fear is when I die, I wouldn't have done anything for the people around me. And I don't want that. I used to love history back then. So I was like, I want to be in a history book and I want to help so many people that I'm always remembered as a person that, you know, spoke about empowerment, someone that empowered people. And it was essentially that I want to empower people. And with time, I did a lot of different things. I've done a lot of podcasts, I've done theater, I've done, you know, very different things. And with time, the more I talk to people, the more I connect with people, I realize, and I slowly sort of filtered out with what I want to do and what I don't think is my focus. And I got to a very sort of specific goal with each time. With time, my goal got really specific. From I want to empower people to I want to empower Pakistani girls to be financially independent. And it got very specific with time. That involved me going to different places, looking at different living conditions, and going like, the purpose of my life is to help these women be financially independent. And I think that did take me a long time. And even then, because I was working, I had gotten a little like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then something really sudden sort of happened. This March, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. It is an autoimmune disease where basically your body cannot produce insulin. And it was very sudden, although both my parents are diabetics and most of my family is, and it's probably genetic, but it was something that I hadn't thought of. And I have been
Mhm.
really, really sick for the past 2 years. And I didn't know what it was. And I thought I was going to die. But when I did figure it out what it was, I remember the doctor telling me you can die any day. And that reminded me a lot of when I saw my brother on that bed. And I was like, okay, well, back then I thought I was on a timeline, and now I know that I might have a deadline. So we gotta make most of the time. And I was like, now that I have figured out what my specific goal is and how I want to get there, and I have everything that I would need to get there, why am I stalling? And
Mhm.
I took a break this summer, work on myself, and to think and to draft a plan as to what I want to do to get to those goals. Because goals aren't just for like having like for the sake of it. And I think with this disease, I have focused more on my goals now than ever. And I've come up with two solutions for this. Two things that will help me get to my goal. One is a business that I am working on currently, and one is a nonprofit organization that I have. And both are for Pakistani women, because those are my people. Those are the people I want to be
Mhm.
impacting. Those are the people that I want for my work to affect positively. And
Mhm.
the business, in Pakistan, so there's a very big freelancing market here. Pakistan's number 4 in the freelancing market because our biggest export, I think, is like our freelancers. And there's, websites like Fiverr and Upwork are like they're very competitive now. And most of the competition is male competition. Because in our
Mhm.
society, men are able to go out mentoring and have the right set of skills, but women, for them to go outside of their house, unfortunately, due to a lot of different problems in our society, is very hard. So they aren't able to have the same skills. They aren't able to work on themselves. They aren't able to get the adequate mentoring that they might need to, be a professional that can present themselves as one as well. And I was like, I want to help with that. I have a big network, and I know that I can client hunt. So what I want to do is for passion fruit. That's the name of the business. I want for passion fruit to be like a platform to these women where they can come and they can work. Basically, we would be doing all the client hunting and managing the communications while also mentoring them, so then they can be independent, both financially and as professionals, so that they would have the skills and they can, do their own client hunting, maybe at some point start their own businesses. As for the nonprofit organization, it is called Elevate Her, and it's all to educate girls about the important issues and to educate them, and teach them skills that they would need for the real world. So that in the future, a lot of these girls would have their own platforms like Passion Fruit. And so that ripple impact can continue. It'll be skills like coding, like communication, like how to present yourself as a professional, all skills that we feel lacks in the women of our society today. What is, keeping them behind? What is hindering their growth as
Mhm.
professionals? Teaching them things like the sustainable development goals, like climate change. So exposing them to different things, not just coding, so that if they may be
Mhm.
interested in anything else, they can further explore that. They can expose themselves to other things if they might not be interested in exploring things that we offer. And they can grow as their own individual and be financially independent, because that's what our economy needs the most, is women that are financially independent and can support their family.
That's beautiful. Like there's so many things that stood out to me from just your last minute of talking. First, I'm very sorry for the news that you got. Another thing that stood out to me is that in that moment when you were diagnosed, it made it real that we don't have unlimited time, and that if we want to reach something, then we need to take action now. About 2 weeks ago, I was at a conference and Tim Tebow was invited there, and he gave a speech, and his whole idea of the speech was that we need to live our life as we are running out of time, because that is the reality. We are, from the moment we are born, we are running out of time, but often we live our life in a way that we do not even think about that. As you started on this journey of empowerment, or what is one challenge that you had to overcome, and how did you do it?
I was very fortunate. I didn't have a lot of
Mhm.
challenges. Whatever came from within. Challenges like feeling
Mhm.
unmotivated, that's real. I'm not some like freak from another world that does not have her moments. I definitely have them, and I do feel unmotivated at times. But I'm very fortunate that I have moments like that one, the one that I shared about empowerment, that make up for everything that I had been feeling before. That gives it all a purpose. That gives it all meaning, and that gives it the magic that I had, just not, thought about. So there are moments when I feel, a little low at energy, and that also has to do a lot with my health. And right now, it's a big challenge for me to be managing my health with everything, because there are some times that I have to be like physically active at an event, or there's like back-to-back meetings, and I have to, work on passion fruit, and I also have to work on elevate her. But at the end of the day, when I see that, hey, that is my vision, and I envision it in my head, then, well, I would, spend all of my energy just working on for that vision to become a reality. And so I think it is hard to keep your health as, in check, as well in check as, I need to do with my health condition. But it's not possible. It's just a challenge, and I love being challenged. So
For anyone that would love to make an impact and they don't even know where to start, they don't even know if they even can make an impact, if they can empower somebody, what would be something that you would tell them?
If you want to empower someone around you, it's the thing that I thought about actually a long time ago, and it's my explore and expose theory. Is explore into that goal. Who do I want to empower? How do I want to empower them? When do I want to empower them? And go into the specifics of it, and expose yourself to different people, different professions, different cultures, different places. And the good thing about living in this time and age is that you don't have to
Mhm.
go physically and do that. You could do that while
Mhm.
sitting at home. And when you feel that you have been able to make connections, when you feel like you have explored and come to your conclusion that this is who I want to empower and this is how I want to empower them, this is when I want to empower them, and this is why I want to empower them. When you have those answers, then go for it. But right now, if you have a goal of empowerment, that's that's a very big goal. That's not the goal to have. You need to make it very
Mhm.
specific who you want to help, because you can't
Yeah.
be helping anyone, then you're helping no one. So I think help yourself by figuring out who is it that you want to help, how is it, why is it, and then help them. And that is the
Mhm.
best way you can help yourself.
What is a way that if anyone in the audience would love to learn more about you, follow you, maybe get in contact, what would be the best way for them to do so? And I will have that in the show notes as well.
Yeah. So the best way to reach out to me if you want to talk to me is definitely LinkedIn. That's one place that I, keep in check of my messages and inbox. Um, and if you want to follow me, if you want to see my work, then it is Facebook. I am Raheen Fatima everywhere on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as LinkedIn.
Thank you, Raheen, for taking this time. It's been an honor having this conversation, a privilege to be able to interview you. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your encouragement and your inspiration for anyone. Because I believe, I always say that reaching a goal has similar steps that need to be taken. Like take the action, have the goal, be specific about it. And it doesn't matter if the goal is building a company, a nonprofit, empowering people, the same kind of same rules apply, and it's wonderful to hear how you apply some of these rules. Thank you. I hope this episode gave you some inspiration for reaching your goals. If you found it useful, please hit the subscribe button. This will help me bring you more inspirational stories to support your own journey to point B. Thank you.